go, but as we look at the idea napkin as a whole, just remind people at this point as they're wrapping things up here that you're trying to get down on this napkin one set of variables. You can have another napkin. Like we just talked about, you just talked about home, someone at their home gym or in the gym. That might be two separate napkins for you, and that's okay. And you may then assess one and go, okay, wait, out of these two, I'm going to pick this one, right? That's my better one. But the idea is that each one represents a real succinct scenario. Going back to where we started, that someone walks up to you and they say, so what are you working on? You can go, oh, well, let me tell you. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm offering. Here's who I'm offering it to. Here's why. That person cares. Let me tell you about that. This is my distinctive competency and what sets me apart. And then finally, my substitutes and alternative situation is favorable because, and you go through it, right? And if you can say all those in a line and all the previous things still hold, you're starting to be in good shape. And that gives you what we call a prototype of your idea, right? A model of that, a concept only. It's not a pitch. It's not a prototype yet. And those will be complementary important things, but it gives you a model in mind that's really powerful for you to go from. And I think that's the important thing here, right? And bottom line, just to wrap my thoughts, is there's some human being out there, right? On the why does this person care piece, or no, on the who are you offering it to piece, that has a problem that, if I go back again, you are going to solve by offering something, right? And in doing so, you're going to have a distinctive competency that gives you something sustainable, and the substitutes and alternative situation is going to be favorable. Boom, right? If you can string those together after having been through this exercise, then you're poised to, you're not necessarily here, we'll get to that evaluation process later, but you're poised to walk up here. And that's the key, is getting your baseline down.
No, absolutely. And I guess to round off my thoughts is what you can see here, everybody, is this also creates a structured process in your own mind as to how you go about developing an idea in the initial stages. So if you think about it, if you're dealing with a team of people with your new venture, if you can develop a structured process around how you think about developing a new idea, it creates a culture. So everybody starts speaking in the same language, everybody starts asking the right questions, but everybody also answers or understands those questions that are being asked, because it's this structured process around this particular idea. And like Alex was just saying, you have one napkin for one idea, you move to your next idea, that's another napkin, but the structure and how you go about developing that idea doesn't change. So that's, if you think about big business, if you think about corporations, if you can create that company culture, it now allows people or anybody on a team to be able to come in and be at that same level where the greatest ideas are making their way to the top.
Right.
And that's kind of how I wanted to round that out.
Yeah, I said I was done, but I got one more thought now that you've been saying that. And that is, I just want to reiterate, the idea of this is simple, right? The napkin doesn't have a lot on it. There's 6 silly questions. And there's nothing invented here, right? Businesses and business creators have been talking about these questions forever, right? They're the elements of a business, the core fundamentals. But I just want to put out there that if I get, you said the word corporate that got me thinking this. It's not just for small business or early stage. I mean, I get 3 people into separate rooms who together run a business unit or business line, or products suite or something like that, like portfolio products. And I ask them about one of those offerings, these 6 questions. I'll often get 3 different sets of answers from those 3 people if they can't hear each other answer. And that's a real indication. These are simple, but like, how big a deal is that they can't answer it in the same way? They're not on the same page. They don't have their pulse on it, right? And so that's why it's so key as you're designing change. Corporate, small business, tech, non-tech, it doesn't matter. You need to have your pulse on this. You need to have the pulse of this. I mean, your finger on it. And you need to know in such a way that everyone can be that much on the same page about this basic fundamental piece of it, of the idea and the opportunity, before you move to that next stage, right? Before you do anything else with it, and before you get out there pitching, before you get out there modeling it and prototyping it and building it. And we won't get into the individuals and the examples till other places, but we have corporate clients running their innovation process in this way because of the power of getting everybody on the same page and talking the same language and giving us a bit of a culture. And we haven't done it here because it's not part of this first lesson, but how to also take that and evaluate your ideas so it is the best ideas winning. So it's merit based, and that's the next step. But it takes getting it down and having the skill and the discipline, even though none of it's crazy, but understanding what it is we're trying to put on these idea napkins so we have those starting places to leap off of.
Right. And it's an efficient process, right? Because we know that, if we're looking at the corporate context, if you're bringing new people into a team, it's you're not giving them an encyclopedia of textbooks to learn how to do this.
Right.
And it's really we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just getting everybody thinking the same way.
Right. So there's and a few things come to mind. Not everything's on here. There's nothing about revenues or partner channels or stuff you're going to find on a business model canvas or stuff you find in a business plan. But if you don't get it right here, it doesn't matter all the rest of that stuff, right? It's not going to come together. This is sort of that necessary, it's not sufficient, but it's a necessary condition of getting to that place of high value, is being able to do this stuff. But it gives enough depth. Like you played the important role there of saying how it's simple, but the other side to this is it's more than you often get. Like I sent you that Facebook post the other day. Somebody was advertising their business process, and it was good. It was good copy. It was well written, but it said, you will find a human being, and you will, offer something to them that blows their mind, and then you will, be creating value, and you will then, and build a case. And it had this great stuff that you couldn't deny was right, but there wasn't enough depth to that to do anything more than, build a room full of cheerleaders. Because that sounds great, and if I'm into the show and tell side of entrepreneurship and innovation, and just I love the brand of being an innovator, then that's great. That's what you need. But to actually do it, even though like you said, this is simple, and it's only 6 questions, like I said earlier, it is so powerful because it has that necessary set of conditions to be able to move past this point, right? And not just be reading another airport bookshelf book on better businesses or Facebook post or landing pages. I mean, it's getting you deeper than that. It's just a little bit of discipline and asking yourself quality questions to get it right up front.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, everybody.
Yeah,
go out there.
That's it.
Build some great ideas. And we'll hopefully see you at the next one. Eh?
Yeah. I remember. It's great. See ya.